Hello and welcome to another out-of-the-box miniature painting video. Today I'm going to be doing some fire. So I've got my model here, the little troll that's there. What we did in another video was I did some undercoating spray, and I undercoated the top section here, majority of it in black, and then the top section here all in Wraithbone spray. What I need to do to start off with first is actually touch that up with a bit more of the Wraithbone, just to make sure that it is fully covered. The reason why I'm doing it with Wraithbone to start off with is because it has got a bit of a yellow tinge, because next I'm actually going to start with the Yriel Yellow. So putting a little bit there on here. So what I'm also using here is a wet palette. The wet palette is going to help a lot when it comes to actually blending in the colours for the fire, because we actually are going to be using a thing called wet blending, a technique called wet blending. So just adding a little bit of water to the paint to thin it down, and then starting by just touching up some of the grey parts, black parts, and some of the paint that I ended up actually getting on it from the rest of the model pieces, like the reds that are here and so forth. Okay. So once the Wraithbone itself starts to dry off, what I'm looking for in this particular model is, because he's a Blood Bowl player, he's going to be running around a lot, and the fire itself is going to be hot. So there's different ways of fire that you can actually do. One is going to be very bright, which is what I'm going to do today. Another one is where it's starting to smolder a little bit and you make it into a bit more of a browner, blacker sort of tips on it and everything like that. But today what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be using Yriel Yellow, Trollslayer Orange, and Mephiston Red. Then I'll come back in with a little bit of White Scar just to really brighten up in the middle section where it's actually really, really hot. So start off with the Yriel Yellow. We want to cover majority of that base. Give it a good shake. Alright, so Yriel Yellow, put it on there. Now, as I said, we're using a wet blend palette, a wet palette here for the wet blending. In order to actually get the wet blending, you really want to make sure that the mixture is fairly wet, so that it actually glides on quite smoothly. Now, because, as I said, I have used the Wraithbone white here, it's already got a bit of a yellow tinge to it. So when I actually do put the Yriel Yellow on, it covers pretty much straight away. Okay, so once we're done with the yellow, just a bit over here, a bit over here. Once we're done with the yellow, then we move on to the orange. As you can see, the paint is still a bit wet, which is what I want. So we start with the orange. This is Trollslayer Orange there. Put some down here. Again, get that really wet. What we want to do is we want to work about halfway up. So just thin it out a bit, work about halfway up here. Now at the moment it's going to blend into the yellow, which is not a bad thing. We're just marking things out at the moment. We want to get really the raised edge sections, not so much the in-depth or the raised bits. And at the moment it's looking very, very clunky, but that's okay. Because as I said, once we do the wet blending, that is when everything will start coming together. Really get those raised edges, because in further in the raised edges we're actually going to start doing the red as well. If you stuff up at all and go over a bit of where the yellow is or anything like that, doesn't matter. Once it's all dry, we can go ahead and put back in some yellow. Everything is fixable. So once we've done all the raised edges that we can see, as I said, at the moment we're just marking things out, so it's not a complete full work yet. We'll go and do some red. Okay, so we get the Mephiston Red. Up here, and again add a fair amount of water to it, thin it out, and then we're going to go about halfway up where we did the orange. So tops here and then to about here. That's where we want. So this section here is a bit more of the raised section, just to give it just that little bit more fire to it, like that bit more hotness. Keep it wet. Don't need to add that bit in there. Just I'll talk about that a bit more later on. Okay, so now we've marked out our reds, and I'll put a little bit more in here. So we've marked out our reds, we've marked out our spots. At the moment, it's not bad. So I'd be happy with that, just as per normal. But now we're going to go into some wet blending. We've marked out where we want our colours. Now, wet blending, the best way to work with wet blending, and you've got to do this quick, because keep the red as wet. You want to go light into dark. So you want to get a clean brush now. Quickly grab some orange. Start from base of your orange, and then push it up into the red. And then you kind of want to come back down again. So you're pushing up into your red. Get some more orange. Push it up into the red, and bring it back down. Now, an easier way to do things as well is to grab a little bit of red here, bring it down here, clean your brush, grab some orange, and then push it up here into the red. Give it a little bit of a mixture. And you can see how it's starting to get a different colour coming through. And what you can do with that middle colour there, is once you get that loaded up, is you can actually bring that into the middle here as well. More darker there. Try and work with a clean brush as much as you possibly can when you're starting a new colour, just because then you can actually control it a little bit better. So that's there. I'll just do this one to show you exactly what is going on at the moment. So if I can bring it a bit closer. So I've got that orange really wet in there, and I've got that blended into the red quite nicely. So what I need to do now is actually blend the yellow into the orange. And so that needs to come up this way and then back down again. And what I want to do is bring that orange down again to create that middle colour that we need. There we go. So with that middle colour, we can then blend it in here. Clean that up, grab some more orange, bring that down a bit more, blend it in. Beauty about wet paint is it blends really, really well, hence the reason why they call it wet blending. That there is starting to get like a really good blend into it, blend transition. Now hopefully you can see the difference there between something like this where it is white, then you can see the difference in the orange there and then the difference in the red, compared to this one here where it is yellow into the orange into the red, and it's all blended in nicely. So now I'm going to go ahead and do that for all the other ones, and we'll see the final result. Now, don't know if you can see in there, I've actually just put a lot of yellow mixture in there that I didn't quite want. So what I've done is I've washed my brush off, and I'm just going to soak up a bit more of the yellow that's there. So now that we've got a bit more of a clean slate there to work with. Okay, so now that we've got majority of the wet blending done, there's still a little bit more to do. Just a little bit of touch-ups here and there go through. But once we've actually done the majority of that fire, what we want to do, because obviously it's looking a little bit dark at the moment. It's not too bad, but it's not a bit dark. Go in with the Wraithbone. And we want to get into the real crevice sections here. So with the crevices that are here, it shows that it's a bit more white and hot and so forth, and we'll blend that in with the yellow. Just in there. A little bit of the white in the nooks and crannies of it, and just gives it that little bit more heat. So it comes in there, and then we grab a bit of the yellow, just to mix back in again. So I can get a bit more light under that. Okay. With a bit more, as I say, a bit more touch-ups and so forth going on, we can really define this in a bit later, but I think for the processes of this particular video, you've got the idea. You get it. You understand, hopefully. If you don't, that is completely fine. Put some comments in, questions in the comments section down below. If there's anything else that you would like to see one time, whether it be more wet blending on something else or pretty much anything in general, please comment down in the section below and I'll definitely try and get to it. Providing that it doesn't cost too much money, obviously, because gotta do these things on a little bit of a budget. But yeah, that's a simple way there just to make some fire. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Please give this video a bit of a like, and I'll see you on the next one. Thanks.